The best pilot in the galaxy went flying headlong through the air and landed face first in the mud. Garbed in battle-damaged trooper gear, much of which was only keeping him from getting to his feet again, Han Solo managed to sit up, rip off his partially demolished face guard, and look around at the devastation. How did I get here? He thought dazedly. I'm supposed to be flying ships. But he was in the Imperial Army. The past 3 years had been a blur, but he never thought he'd end up there. That was where you got sent when you'd crashed a ship by refusing to obey a direct order to return to formation. You got a hearing in front of an Imperial tribunal, where some arrogant Commodore who would forget your name the second you left his office pointed at you and pronounced your fate in a single word. Mimban. Explosions and laser blasts had already torn the surface of the planet to ruins. Chicken walkers and troop transports thundered across the battlefield while AT haulers dropped AT-DTs from the sky. The air was thick with smoke and flames. From their trenches on the other side of no man's land, native Mimbanese soldiers fired blasters back at the seemingly endless waves of Imperial troops. It was pure chaos, and Han was dead bang in the middle of it.
"Almost there, Rook!"
shouted the major in front of him, jabbing one hand at some indistinct point on the horizon.
"Come on, Rook! Your Empire needs you! Troopers forward! Solo, get up! We're almost there!"
"Almost where?" Han shouted. "Where are we going?"
"Just over that ridge! Victory is..."
An explosion vaporized the major where he'd stood, leaving his destination forever unknown. Han blinked and wiped his eyes. 20 paces ahead of him, a ragtag group of mud troopers was taking shelter in a smoking crater. He plunged in alongside them, head down, awaiting whatever was next. A momentary lull in the action brought unexpected silence across the battlefield. In that second, Han raised his head and peered out. Off to the left, through clouds of smoke, he caught sight of a uniformed figure standing upright, silhouetted boldly against the laser fire and bloodshed erupting behind him, twirling blasters in each hand as he fired almost casually at the enemy. What? Han stared, brought up short by the apparent fearlessness of the new arrival in the face of certain death. He was accompanied by 2 others, standing loyally behind him. A second later, another concussion bomb went off just in front of them, and the blaster-twirling man, along with his ragtag company, dove in the crater alongside Han. They were near enough that he could hear them talking over the bomb blasts and cannons.
"We'll just pop over to Mimban, you said,"
one of them complained.
"A quick job, you said." "Well, this ain't a quick job. It's a war."
The tall man shook his head.
"It's always gonna be something with you, Rio."
He pointed in the direction of an AT hauler that had just dropped off an AT-DT and was presumably on its way back to pick up another.
"Come on! Forward operations is that way."
"It is," Han spoke up, "but the major said we're supposed to go that way." The man regarded Han, squinting, noticing him there for the first time.
"Go that way, you'll get killed."
"Yeah," Han said, "that's exactly what happened to the major."
"Well, then he deserved it. Who's the ranking officer now?"
Han glanced at the red and blue rank insignia plaque on the man's uniform. The uniform itself was riddled with blaster burns, he noticed, indicating a full frontal assault that few men could have survived, let alone walked away from. Which meant there was more to this story than met the eye. But he could figure out that part later.
"You are, Captain."
For a second, the group fell silent. Then, inexplicably, they all burst out laughing, as if this was the single funniest thing any of them had ever heard. Han frowned a little, then smiled. All their uniforms were tattered, and their weapons were far from regulation. But there was no disputing the bond between them. Whoever the soldiers were, he thought, they'd obviously been through something, many somethings, that had knit them together tighter than a family.
"So, what's the plan, Captain Beckett?"
the woman of the group said, still smiling.
"Val, you take Rio and these 4 mud skulls and flank left,"
the blaster-twirling one said. He gestured at Han.
I'll take this mouthy scooch and we'll go around to the right. And maybe we'll get lucky.
Can I just ask? Han began. But the man didn't let him finish.
You want to live, Sparky?
Very much.
Then shut up and do what your captain tells you.
And that was how Han met Tobias Beckett.